many adults who have been working and thinking what we can bring to you during this Chinese New Year season. So a lot of these adults assigned me to do one thing, which is to share with you what Chinese people eat for Chinese New Year. This morning, I asked two kids. I asked one, I said, do you know what Chinese people eat for Chinese New Year? And he said, I don't know. So he has been living in New York City for several years, and that's what he told me. And he said, I want to know. And another kid told me that, oh, I think they eat dumplings. Everybody eats dumplings, okay? So with that, I just want to ask you a question. Who wants to know more about what Chinese people eat for food for Chinese New Year? Yeah? Sorry that I can't see your faces, but I'm sure some of you have raised your hand. And also, I'm going to show you lots of interesting food. I grew up in China, in northern China, and I actually growing up only knowing eating dumplings for Chinese New Year until one year I went to southern China during Chinese New Year. And on the first day of New Year, I asked people, where are the dumplings? And they told me, well, we never eat dumplings for the first day of New Year. So I said, really? Okay. So this time for you, I asked teachers in our Chinese school, and they are from different parts of China. Here's where they're from. Jake, can you show the next slide? Yeah, so they're from northern China, Tianjin, Shanxi, from southwest Sichuan, from Fuzhou, from southern China, Fuzhou and Xianggang. So, and let's see what they shared, okay? Chinese New Year is very long. It lasts for 2 weeks. And counting from the first day of New Year, January 1st, the lunar calendar, to January the 15th, the Lantern Festival. So, but before that, the New Year's Eve is also a very important time point. So this is about 15 days. And further before that, some people, a lot of Chinese also celebrate called Xiao Nian, a small New Year. So just to get themselves warmed up for the New Year. So that's the December 23rd or 24th. Okay, so we're going to talk about foods people eat during these on these 4 time points. So let's see for the small New Year. A lot of Chinese, like they would fry food. Fried food looks like this. Let's see. So in northern China, people would fry meatballs, fry vegetable balls. These are called 炸丸子. And they would also fry this dough. You kind of roll up the dough, make that very thin, flat, and you threw this into the oil pot. So that's called 炸果子. So the reason for doing this is in northern China in the winter, old times, there's no refrigerator. Then you fry this food, you put that in your house, and then you can eat for a number of days, and they won't go bad. Okay, they're also fun to eat. Okay, and then in southern China, so this is shared by our teacher Crystal from Hong Kong. So also people fry things. We have sticky rice balls with red bean paste called 煎堆, and then we have the fried dumplings, but just the filling is sweet. So that's called 油饺. Okay, I think you are more familiar with these things because they are in Chinatown stores, the bakeries a lot. Okay, and so that's for the small year. And here comes the second big time, which is the New Year's Eve. And families gather together they have a large meal, a banquet. They eat different things in different regions, but there are a few things that everybody eat. So I want to show you the first one. So what is this? Shout out if you know Chinese. Yeah, yes, yu. Okay, so why do Chinese eat yu? Because it happens that the sound of yu, the animal, is identical to the sound for another character, which is to the right. It means that yu means abundance, extra. So life has not always been easy for people anywhere, and for Chinese people included. So they want to take the moment to kind of, hope to express their wish, just like you blow a candle for your birthday cake, like this is their wish for the new year, okay? And they also, in northern China, where I grew up, people eat tofu dishes, okay? So this looks like fancy tofu dishes for the new year. And why? Because tofu sounds identical to doufu. Dou means all, fu means happy. So people also want everybody in the family, in the community to be happy in the coming year. And let's see what else. And then in Sichuan, people, for their New Year's Eve banquet, they eat a lot of meat. We have the sausage, we have, so we have different type of, in the middle, we have 腊肠, to the right, 炒腊肉, and to upper left, 梅菜扣肉, and to the left, 酥肉. So once I was in Sichuan for Chinese New Year, and that's exactly what people ate there. So they look yummy, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see next. That's a meal from Hong Kong, and you can see the second one from the left is yu, right? So the yu looks like it's really universal within China. And then there are other vegetables, and people in southern China also like eat more different types of meat, like, the pig's paws and things. So, and that's for, but each food they eat also corresponds to some kind of, very good meaning there. Okay, so that's the New Year's banquet, I think, just a few samples. And here comes the first day of New Year. This is the time to eat the right things to set the right tone for the year. So people in Tianjin, a city south of Beijing, they would eat vegetarian dumplings. So you see these vegetarian dumplings, they look really yummy. And Northern Chinese, they do all eat dumplings, but people in Tianjin and also in my hometown, Shandong, particularly emphasizes on eating vegetarian food on the first day of New Year. And then the next slide shows us what goes into these vegetarian dumplings. So we have usually a type of vegetable of your choice, a scrambled egg chopped up mushroom, and things like dried shrimp. Okay. And so that's for dumplings. And then when you go to southern China, people would eat rice balls. And the sizes can be different and the fillings can be different. And then the people in Fujian, they eat noodles. So you have these long noodles and standing for longevity. So people want friendship to be long, want their family's life to be long. And then next, you see how these noodles are made. Very cool. So that's somebody's making these Fuzhou noodles. And don't you want just to eat the whole, the long one? Yeah. Okay. And then let's see, what else do people eat? Then, so we go back to northern China again. People eat hot pot. So this is from Shanxi province. And it's pretty much deep in the mountains. For their hot pot, they eat for lunch for the first day of New Year. And they would have this boiling water, pot with boiling water on the table. They would cook things by themselves. But what they tend to cook would be the fried things that they prepared like a week ago. So this makes it easier. They don't need to do extra work to prepare for the materials. And also families sitting around, it's a reunion time and very sweet. Let's see the next slide. What else? And then now we go back to southern China again, where there's a lot of rice. And then people eat the rice balls, and then people make different types of niangao. Gao means cake. A lot of you know 蛋糕, so that's the regular cake you eat. But these are called niangao. And gao, the sound is the same as another character, gao, which means high, tall. So we want children to grow taller. We want our life to get better. And that's another good wish food. Okay, let's see next. And then now we go fast forward from the first day of New Year to the 15th day of New Year. So it's time to end this celebration. People eat rice balls again. Okay, so rice balls appear 2 times for a lot of people in China during the Chinese New Year season. Okay, that's all we have to share. Yeah. Do we have time for the pop quiz, or how about everybody? You can, if you
I'll do the pop quiz.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch.
Okay, so if you are interested, take a shot of the screen and then try to do these 3 questions. Okay, so there are 2 choices for each question. See whether you can get it right. Okay. Yeah, the first one, some Chinese eat noodles on the first day of Chinese New Year. Why? Okay, so we talked about that. Noodles stand for longevity, or noodles stand for reunion? Which one? Is it E or R? If you think it's E, just raise one hand. Okay. If you think it's R, raise 2 hands. Okay. Yeah. And the second question, one food is a must-eat food on 2 occasions for many Chinese during the Lunar New Year. What is it? 1, dumplings. 2, sticky rice balls. Okay. If you think it's 1, raise your hand. If you think it's 2, sticky rice balls, raise your 2 hands. Okay. Great. Last one. This is a little tricky because I didn't exactly say that, but Chinese from the north, so it's true and false. Chinese from the north tend to eat food made with rice flour, and Chinese from the south tend to eat more food made with wheat flour. Wheat flour is the kind of flour you make pizza dough with. Okay, so from the north eat more rice flour. Those from the south eat more wheat flour. If you think it's true, raise one hand. Okay. If you think it's false, raise 2 hands. Great. Wonderful. Very nice sharing this time with you. And I hope you feel like, oh, I know a little more about what Chinese people eat for Chinese New Year. Okay. And have a wonderful celebration with your family.